Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, Bashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone rule well, and Shalom to the brothers doing the work of Syrian truth. Got this article on RT, and it's funny as hell because it shows those concentration camps, which have been spoken about for the longest. Easily, there's laws being put through to make these things, a modern a clear and present reality, man. For you simpletons out there. So, Sonati, COVID camps put disease carriers in detention centers, proposed New York law suggests. And at New York as well. So it's come on, man. And these things can it can be done at state level, but then it can just be done federally easily afterwards as well. So it says, a New York state lawmaker has introduced a bill that would allow the government to detain people deemed a potential public health risk amid concerns that the C-19 crisis is being allegedly used to usher in authoritarianism, which it definitely is. Because you've seen, basically, like, the government has just been increasing reducing the amount of freedoms the people have, locking them down, sending out policemen. Remember when people getting grabbed up on the street and dashed in vans in the States, man. So yeah, it's a thing where you can see Esau's been expanding the capabilities of the government and of the police, the military, to come in and bash people's heads in, and essentially force them to stay home, force them not to travel, not to do certain things. And as well, now this is basically going to be based on the Rona, which and well, you'll see. So it says, authored by a Democratic member of the New York State Assembly, N. Nick Perry. Bill A416 calls for the removal and/or detention of individuals who are identified as a case, contact, or carrier of a contagious disease. And see how it doesn't even specify about the Rona. It just says contagious disease. Because just like you've had with the the mutant variant, they say it comes from the UK. But it's kind of it's getting out that it's been in other places for an extended period of time. And anyway, it's travel still a thing that's been happening. So yeah, such person and they said, like, there's been multiple cases of people traveling, when they're meant to be contagious and all these things. So you had people in fucking hazmat suits to travel and shit. It's funny as hell. So okay, so it says, such person or group of persons shall be detained in a medical facility or other appropriate facility or premises. Okay, so it says the sweeping powers will be employed in the event of the state government declaring a health emergency due to an epidemic of any communicable disease. The bill proposes the legislation states the government must provide clear and convincing evidence that the health of others is in danger before ordering a person or group to be detained. People being removed will have the right to legal representation, allowed to supply their phone numbers of friends or families to receive notification of the individual's detention. But hey, getting grabbed up, getting locked up, and that's what they were doing in China, man. So it's like, expect people to just be getting grabbed up, and the thing is even if it as it is now, this might not pass in this present state, but then they could just pull a few things out, add a few things, and then just try it again and pass that through. and then there might not even be as much fanfare. Yeah, and it says they got a bill introduced to make vaccine mandatory, um, which, it might pass, it might not, but we'll see. And that's, so it says the law apparently allows a governor or health official to unilaterally approach such detentions, but court order is required within 60 days of confinement, and judicial review is required if the individual. So you can be nabbed up for 90 days. This place is hell, man. Just grab people up. You can just be grabbed up in prison for 90 days, and then and that's just the judicial review. That's not even like they gotta take you out, because they can review and say, oh well, he's still sick. But if all you know, you could have just got sick being grabbed up and dashed in there with a bunch of other fucked up people, man. Some niggas with AIDS or some shit. So it says citizens that are placed in detention will be released once health authorities determine that they are no longer contagious, the proposed law states. The bill also allows the governor or relevant health authorities to require people deemed potential health risks to submit to medical examinations, as well as undergo a prescribed course of treatment, prevention, medication, or vaccination. So basically they can force whatever the fuck they want on you once you're grabbed up, man. It's actually wild, man. It's kind of mad that this shit, like, that just, if I don't know how these innocent civilians are sitting there looking at this and just thinking, yeah, this is cool. Especially in America, like, where these guys are meant to be freedom. Them guys, it's gonna hit them like a fucking ton of bricks falling off a crane from fucking 30 stories up, man. So it says the law does not specifically mention the Rona on his website. Perry says A416 relates to removal of cases contacting carriers of communicable diseases who are potentially dangerous to the public health. The thing is, anyway, is because it's not even mandatory for you to get tested. So then it's like, how are people gonna be deemed like sick? And you could grab someone up, they could have the fucking flu, and then it's is that gonna be enough for you to just be like, okay, gonna dash them in jail so they can't spread the flu, and then niggas in jail for like 90 days getting whatever the fuck inserted into them. These are the things that because with it, it's they try and sell it like it's just innocent intentions, but it's just like with what's it called, Patriot Act, man. That shit is fucking expanded and used in every possible way, man. It essentially just means, okay, now you have no rights. And this one is like, if you're sick, then they've basically got that you suspend a bunch of your rights. So this is what, in fact, Democratic lawmaker introduced a nearly identical bill during the 2015 to 16 legislative session, but it appears to have gone nowhere. That's hilarious. So a man's really just striking whilst the iron's hot, and it funny as hell. So it says the current iteration of the proposed law will be reviewed by the Assembly's Health Committee next week. Although the legislation is still a long way off from adoption, caused considerable consternation on social media. It says, I knew Cuomo was a bit of an authoritarian anti-Semite, but I never thought the state would go literal Nazi. Conservative commentator Ian Miles Chung wrote, referring to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, The governor has previously been accused of imposing draconian knockdowns on the New York Jewish community, which has resisted many of the C-19 restrictions imposed across the state. This was a conspiracy theory, like many other things 9 to 10 months ago. Noted as it. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, it's like people are simple as hell, man. Because the thing is as well, is like when it's brought up like conspiracy theory, it's like no, that will never happen, fam. Like no, they will never get to that, you know. But then as soon as it's brought up as actual, like yeah, but no, you gotta do it, nah. But then man needs to do that though. Man, I'm like, yeah, Jake is simple as hell, man. Jake will basically accept anything, man. Man are simpletons at it. Man are ready to get you know, to accept every blood clot thing. Real simple, man. Man are just gonna sit there as you know, as they're getting fucking lined up to get shot in the fucking head, man. Jake are real simple, man. Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works in tribulation of poverty, but thou art rich, and know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Don't even need to break that one down. Verse 10 was where I was meant to actually start, you know, force to have it. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, but ye may that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Yeah, so it's that being thrown into jail. This is just one of the many ways which, you know, the elites can then utilize and say, okay, oh no, actually you're infected. You just got to be dashed in and grab you up, throw you in jail, enforce whatever treatments on you, and this, you know, it's the things that we've been talking about. And then when the mark comes in as well, because they could say, okay, no, you need to take insert a microchip. That's part of the treatment. That's come on, man. You know, it's we're in that time, man. We're in that time. These different crises are being utilized to push out the agendas of the elites, and that's what you've been seeing. That's what the man said. You can get thrown in jail if you're sick. What the fuck? A man tried pushing it out before, and that's how the elites go with these things. They'll try and push it out at a certain time. It might not, it might not be able to catch on. You might get too much pushback, or there's not the justification there. But now it's like what? It's in a time where it's not a stretch to get these things in, man. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yeah, Shalom.